Good morning, room 15. This is Mrs. Lopez. Today is Thursday, May 7th. Hello, hope you're doing well. I know my shirt looks like I should have worn it on Cinco de Mayo, but I didn't. Boo-hoo. So I hope you guys are ready for the next chapter of Miss Holly is Too Jolly. I hope you've been following along with us. I know it was one of your favorite books. I really hope you've been watching. Let's go ahead and continue. Chapter 6, the opposite of Hanukkah. During the first week in December, Miss Daisy told us about the holidays so we'd be ready for the pageant. I already knew the story of Christmas, but I didn't know much about Hanukkah. Now I don't remember everything Miss Daisy told us, but basically Hanukkah has something to do with a war. It was all about war. I have some plastic army guys down in my basement, and me and Michael and Ryan line them up and shoot them with rubber bands. Anyway, 1,100,000 years ago, the Jewish people were fighting a war. They were outnumbered by another army, but they kicked their butts anyway. So after the war was over, the Jewish people went back to their temple to hang out and play video games and stuff. It was dark out, so they didn't have any light bulbs in those days, so they had to light oil lamps, or they would bump into walls when they walked into the kitchen to get more pizza. The problem was that they could only find one jar of oil that would last one night. But they all wanted to hang out all week and play video games and eat pizza. I guess they sent somebody to the gas station to get more oil, but he never came back. So they put the one jar of oil they had into a lamp and lit it. The cool thing is that the oil didn't just last one night. It didn't just last 2 nights. It didn't just last 3 nights. It lasted 8 whole nights. It was a miracle. Wow, we said after Miss Daisy finally finished telling the story of Hanukkah. I saw a miracle like that once, I said. Tell us about it, AJ, said Miss Daisy. We were driving to my grandmother's house. Suddenly, our car stopped right in the middle of the highway. My dad said he thought he had a full tank of gas, but it turned out the gas gauge was broken and the tank was empty. That doesn't have anything to do with Hanukkah, Andrea said. Sure it does, I said. The Jewish people thought they only had a little oil, but it turned out they had a lot. We thought we had a lot of gas, but we only had a little. It was the opposite of Hanukkah. You're a dumbhead, Andrea said. So is your face, I told her. Anytime somebody says something mean to you, all you have to say is, so is your face. That's the first rule of being a kid. Miss Daisy told me and Andrea to knock it off. She said that Hanukkah lasts for 8 nights, and each night they light a candle in the menorah. They stick the candles in manure? I said. That's disgusting. Menorah, Miss Daisy said. It's like a candle holder. Oh, I said. I knew that. To celebrate Hanukkah, Jewish kids play this game with a 4-sided top called a dreidel that spins around, and they eat potato pancakes called latkes. And they hunt for chocolate coins wrapped in gold foil. The kids get presents every night too, of course. Hanukkah's cool. Miss Daisy showed us how to spin a dreidel and gave us a piece of chocolate money. We had a bathroom break after that, and then she said it was time to work on our writing skills. We were learning to write friendly letters, so Miss Daisy asked if we'd like to write letters to Santa Claus. So that's them learning to play the dreidel. Spin the dreidel. Yeah, everybody shouted. She told us to write whatever we wanted. This is what I wrote. Dear Santa, please bring me a dirt bike and a football and a skateboard and a remote control car and that new video game where you get to kill zombies with machine guns. Also, I need a new Striker Smith action figure because mine got ran over by the school bus after Ryan threw it out the window. I'll take anything else you have lying around your workshop. That is cool too. I love presents, but please don't bring me any boring stuff like clothes or books. Miss Daisy looked at what I was writing and said I had to write something else besides a list of stuff that I wanted. So I added this. Santa, I think you should lose some weight. On TV, they keep saying Americans weigh too much. Maybe if you worked more than 1 day a year, you would lose a few pounds. My mother lost 20 pounds on Weight Watchers. That might work for you. Also, I didn't think it was nice for the reindeer to make fun of Rudolph, laughing and calling him names. That was mean. If I was Rudolph and they wouldn't let me play any reindeer games, I would punch those reindeers in the nose. Sincerely, AJ. P.S. One more thing. Did you ever hit your head on the North Pole? Miss Daisy asked if anyone wanted to read their letter in front of the class. Andrea was the only one who raised her hand. Of course. So she stood up and started reading. Dear Santa, this year I don't want you to bring me anything. There are children all over the world who don't have any toys. So please take the toys you were going to give to me and give to the poor children instead. The world would be a better place if people had less toys and more peace and love. Love, Andrea. What a brown noser. I know for a fact that Andrea only said that stuff so Miss Daisy would like her. Once I went to Andrea's house for her birthday, and that place was filled with toys. She has every American Girl doll ever made. The only reason Andrea doesn't want Santa to bring her any more toys is because she has no place to put them. After Andrea finished reading her letter, the most amazing thing in the history of the world happened. Miss Daisy started crying. That's the most beautiful letter I've ever heard, Andrea, said Miss Daisy. Andrea smiled, her little Miss Perfect smile. Why doesn't a sack filled with letters fall on her head? Tomorrow, Friday, is Santa Claus Real? Chapter 7. Dun, dun, dun. Do you believe? See you tomorrow.